tornado warning. This includes much of the Tri-City metropolitan area. I want to show you this radar because as you're looking at this, let me add some cities on here as well for you. I want to just give you an idea because tornado warning really encompassing Hawkins County down through Greene County. This is in effect for much of the western half of the immediate Tri-City area. So you got this tornado warning going on. Good reason for that as we look at our storm velocity. They're looking at a potential here from a rotation. You're really looking at a severe thunderstorm here which could produce a tornado, especially just outside of Segoinsville in Tennessee. And again, that's right up through here. That's what we're looking at now. So when we're looking at velocity, not seeing a huge couplet, but it's a possibility here as we have enough shear in the atmosphere for these thunderstorms. I mentioned it a few minutes ago that some of these could in fact produce tornadoes. So we're looking at that tornado warning. And again, this is a warning for Hawkins County down through Washington County in Tennessee, even including Greene County. These are in effect until 4:45. Just going to step off the screen here for 2 seconds because again, this is for Greene, Hawkins, Sullivan, and Washington County, including Scott County in Virginia until 4:45 this afternoon. So that's what we're looking at. There's that tornado warning storm. And again, just to give you an idea who's in the path of this storm, I'm trying to put some data on here for you as well. Our what we call our tornado signature is up a bit. That's concerning for us because right back in that Greene area just outside of Churchill back to Kingsport, that's again, if we see a tornado, that's most likely where that would occur at here. And this is why we're looking at this tornado warning storm. So let me show you the reflectivity here. And as we look at this, we've got that tornado warning here, again encompassing Scott County down through Hawkins County, Greene and Washington County that we're looking at here, and especially into Sullivan County as well. So let me show you how the storm is making its way towards the south and the southeast. This is just a 30-minute play, and look how this storm is really intensifying here over parts of the Church Hill area, Hawkins County, and this again is kind of drifting here off towards the east and the southeast. So when we look at velocity, not seeing a huge amount of a couplet yet, but we are seeing a green and red couplet area back towards the Church Hill region, and that's what concerns me a bit because that's where we may see some rotation starting to develop here. And just give you an idea, if you're in the path of this storm, here are some cities I'm going to put on here for you. And again, we watch the potential here for some of this activity to maybe become tornadic. Again, a bit of rotation here, broad rotation. And you know what, I don't know if, let me see if I can take a camera here while you're looking at this. I'm going to just show you the radar because I do want to show you at this time what we're looking at here as I looked at parts of the Johnson City area with our camera views. If you guys could take that camera, this is a camera right there looking down from Bays Mountain. We're looking down over parts of Kingsport right there. You see the low cloudiness here. Now my concern is, let's go back to the radar because you see how this is bending out. Let me tell you folks, if you're in this area, you need to take shelter immediately. This is actually bowing out here. This is a possibility of something developing right here as we look at the radar that may become something tornadic. So if you're in the Rogersville area, Church Hill, Segoinsville region, you got to be on the lookout for this storm. Well, that's why we have the tornado warning out. And I do want to pinpoint the fact that when we look at velocities here, we've got a little couplet, but it's not showing up on the radar velocity levels as of yet. We're seeing just maybe a little bit of that developing right in through here that we're watching. So I want to take some of the data off here so you can see what we're looking at here, and I'll clean this up because when you look at this, this is most likely if we're going to see something where it might be developing there. And when we go back to our radar composite, you look at what we term as a reflectivity. You see that little hook trying to develop there. That's concerning. And the other problem is you've got a large hail core here as well with this particular cell that is making its way towards Segoinsville and Church Hill. Look at the hail in association with this. Could be pretty decent sized hail that we're looking at. Along with that, we've got the reflectivity going on. And when you see that little bend in the radar data, that is concerning here. And that's where we're looking for the possibility of a tornado here. Along with that, you could find maybe 60-mile-per-hour winds with that cell. So again, just to give you the counties here, Scott County in on that, Hawkins County in on that, Greene and Washington, and even parts of Sullivan County here. It looks like it will continue to make its way towards the south and the southeast as it does so. This is a tornado warning storm. We do not have confirmation, but if you're getting some high winds in your area, you're seeing some threatening weather, you got to get to a safe location, get in the basement, lowest level of your house, away from windows and away from doors. And again, if you see something that you're not right in the path of that storm that is concerning to you and you have time to take a photo, you can send it to us at pics@wjhl.com. So always a good thing to do here as well. So we're watching that. that reflectivity, guys. And this, again, is a tornado warned storm. I want to show you there is some hail with that as well. And when we talk about the reflectivity, this is a little concerning here because, again, this right here, where we've got a green and a red couplet coming together, that's where if we were to see something right in this particular area here, I'm going to try and circle this for you one more time, because this is where we would have that couplet right in through there as it's making its way through that region. So just to the west northwest of Churchill is where it looks like we may see some rotation in association with this cell. And again, as you go back to the radar, I'm just going to look at some data here just to show you the brightness of these. We're getting maybe 40, 50, 60, 70, 67 mile per hour winds. That's aloft. Not saying we've got a tornado yet, but if we were to see a tornado, most likely in that region there. So if you're in the Churchill area or Greenland area, you got to watch out for that. It's going to pass just possibly over western Churchill. So if you're in that vicinity, you got to take shelter immediately. Get indoors, get away from windows, and get to the lowest level of your house. You can see the hail core here as well. So usually associated with tornadoes, you notice the lightning in association with this as well. So we've got that tornado threat. This again, where it most likely would be, and then we've got a lot of hail in association with this cell as well. So something the bearers watching. And again, this is a tornado warned storm still in effect until 4:45 this afternoon for areas of northeast Tennessee. That does include Scott County here. We're looking at that as well. So Scott County, Hawkins County, into Greene, Washington, Sullivan County as well. That is a tornado warned storm. I'm just trying to read data and show you the radar at the same time. So again, that severe thunderstorm and capable of producing a tornado. That's why we got the tornado warning here. And I've cut off all the other warnings for you just so you get an idea. We've got a lot of severe weather, folks, across the region. So not only that storm here, we've got a live camera we're going to go to here. And again, this is my concern here, because when you look at this, we're looking at our camera. Yeah, this is what we're looking at. This is mile marker 61. Is that Interstate 81 or where is that? Guys, give me an eye. 81. So you're looking at mile marker 61. Look at the winds here, guys. I cannot stress this enough. We're looking at Sullivan County here. Let me show you something real quickly as we look at the velocities on here. Some of these velocities, just the winds themselves, could be gusting upward to 60 miles per hour. So yeah, there it is. I want to get my cursor off the screen here, and let me put this back on. This is right along Interstate 81. Look at that. 56 mile an hour wind, that's what we say. This thunderstorm has a potential of producing winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And that whole storm here is pushing off towards the east-southeast. So want to give you a heads up. Not only a tornado warning, but this storm now passing right over Interstate 81. If we can, guys, can you see if we can get the intersection of 26 and 81 as well? Because it's going to move right through there. We got a lot of lightning, and I just want a heads up. If you're outside, you got to get shelter immediately. This storm does have the potential of not only producing 60 mile an hour winds, but also the potential here of producing a tornado. Now, when I look at this, we've got some reflectivity in terms of velocity here. I don't see a well-organized couplet, not to say that we can't have one here, and they're issuing a tornado warning. I'm still looking at this here. Johnson, Sullivan, Washington County now until 5 o'clock. Tornado warning in effect here. So yeah, these storms mean business, and they're moving down across the region. Here's a look at 86 and 21 right here. You see the shower and thunderstorm complex coming down. All right, folks, it's a rough day here. We got that tornado warning, a new tornado warning now for Washington County in Virginia down through Johnson County. Here's a look at that storm. This one very, very well organized. I cannot stress enough. If you were in Washington County outside of Abingdon, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is a tornado warned storm, a very, very well-defined couplet, which is right here. That's where your tornado most likely would be. And again, that is our velocity mode as we're looking at this tornado here. There's a reflectivity. You see the hail core right back through here. Tornado most likely right here just outside of Abingdon. And again, this storm is showing up pretty good as we look at our storm relative velocity here, kind of weakening somewhat. Let me show you this. Let me get out of this here 2 seconds here. This is our velocity right there. There's your tornado. Look how it is moving just outside of Abingdon. So again, this is a well-defined tornado here, at least according to Viper radar. If you're in that area, you need to get to see a safe shelter immediately. Here's some of the roads with that. Again, from Abingdon to McConnell, you're looking at Branch Street, Lowland, Old Salt Works Road. That's where your tornado most likely is occurring. If you've got it on the ground here, we have no confirmation of that. If you're getting tornado warnings, what's the address, guys, we could send this to? Somebody just tell me if you're, I know we've got the new stuff with photographs here. Just somebody whisper in my ear, we'll get that to you, because look at that, a well-defined inflow notch. This is where your tornado most likely would be. You got the inflow here, and that's wrapping around the center of circulation. Okay, WJHL/com-report if we can. Any reports you had severe weather, tornado pictures, hail pictures, send them right there. You'll get a release form on that as well. So there's our tornado right there. And let me go back to velocity here, because this is a well-defined storm here. I want to just show you what the winds may be on this particular cell as we're looking at this. Some of the wind velocity here, 40, 50, at least 50 to 60 mile per hour on the low end category, but it's a well-defined tornado there just outside of Abingdon. Let's go back here. I just want to show you this storm here as well. We got that other tornado warned storm here coming down through Church Hill. I don't see a huge couplet here, but I'm definitely watching that potential here. And some of the hail, by the way, could be indicating 1 1/4 inch diameter hail. And again, that's for Sullivan County, Washington County, Johnson County, and on that as well. So we've got 2 storms here, and especially this one here towards Abingdon, a little more worse, but both of these could in fact be producing a tornado. And this is the one we're looking at, Church Hill, just coming out of Scott County. And again, we're looking at the possibility of rotation here. There's your whole storm complex. And boy, this storm means business. We talk about the hail path. You got hail coming down there, also hail coming down towards the Abingdon area. I'm trying to show both of these to you at one time, so it's a very active day. This tornado warning, again, till 4:45, and that encompasses parts of Church Hill down to the Mount Carmel area, just to the west of the Tri-City Airport. So that's going to pretty much move right over the interstate here, Interstate 81. You can definitely see that, and quite a bit of hail with that. And this storm, if it holds together, just want to give you a heads up, may come on down towards Johnson City. All the conditions are favorable for a possibility of a quick spin up of a tornado there. You've also got the velocity levels we're looking at. And just to show you, we did this a minute ago. Look at this now, just south of the Interstate 81 corridor. I want to give you an idea of what the winds are like on this. You can see some of the winds here, 50, 60 mile an hour winds. And that is not that far off the surface here, about 3,000 feet up. So if you're in some of the higher terrain, you're going to see those winds coming right down, possibly right into areas of the 81 and 26 corridor there. So just a heads up on that. I don't have all my cities turned on here, but I do just want to give you an idea. Let me add some cities on here so we can definitely see what we're looking at, because we've got quite a bit of showers and thunderstorms across the region, and I'm just trying to show you some of the cities that are in play here with these cells as they come on down. So I'm going to add some more cities here, and you can definitely see these cities right about there. So we've got some more cities coming on for you. Let me get this back logged just a second, because again, you've got the high winds coming down into areas of Washington County. And then I do want to show you this cell here. Let's take a look back towards the cell right here into Washington County up into Southwest Virginia. I want to give you the reflectivity. All right, so just give an idea. This particular storm is still curving very well. So if there's a tornado in here, it's most likely right in this area, right through there. The ones over East Tennessee, Johnson City and surrounding areas, I don't see much of a couplet on this particular viewpoint, but let me get back to our reflectivity here. And if you guys can, you may want to take the base mounted camera. I don't know if it's stuck in the clouds or not, but if you do that, just let me know. Okay, can we go back to the 81 one? All right, so here again, we're looking at this tornado warned storm now, really from Church Hill stretching down to parts of Greene County and Johnson City. I don't see, if you see a couplet, most likely it's still up in that area right there, just south of the Church Hill area. And I'm trying to read at the same time. We've got Weather Service sending out thunderstorm activity here, and again, these are moving at about 25 miles per hour. So you see that we've got the possibility of that couplet right there. And again, even with this particular cell, you're still seeing that we've got this little inflow notch and anything developing up through there. Can't say that you would not see a tornado. I'm just letting you know it's a good possibility here. And then we've got the same signature as you're looking at this particular cell as we take you into areas of Southwest Virginia. This right in through here, a good inflow notch coming in here, and that's most likely where your tornado would be. We've got a lot of hail in there as well. So both of these mean business. Washington County, you're in Abingdon, you're in Damascus, you got to take shelter immediately, anywhere in between, because we are looking at the possibility of a tornado here. Even though we may not have a report of a tornado as of yet, these are tornado possible signatures here on the radar that we're looking at. So you see that, and we're also looking at this extensive thunderstorm complex, a lot of lightning coming down right over the Tri-City Airport, right into parts of the Tri-Cities. Just want to give an idea. Look at the hail here near the Tri-City Airport. You're also looking at a Gray area, Oak Ridge, or Oak Grove, I'm sorry, Oak Grove up to Gray, Double Springs. You're seeing a lot of hail with some of these cells and that potential here for some very strong winds. So we're breaking these down one more time. And let me show you again, because as we look at the velocity level that we're looking at here, I just want to give you an idea of what your wind speeds are and who's got the best chance of the winds. And it's most likely, you see Interstate 81, and just south of 81, we're getting maybe 40 to 50 mile an hour winds in some of the cells that you're seeing right there. North of that region, I do want to point this area out because we still have a little bit of green here, but it's not as bad as it was. So that's a good part of that storm. Nonetheless, high winds possibly coming on down through parts of Johnson City, even into areas just west of Johnson City. I'd say maybe down towards Jonesboro. So just a heads up there, and even parts of Greene County may see that. And then we're taking to Abingdon. There's that cell we've been looking at here. And again, this not so much well developed. The concern now, you may have a tornado in there, but the concern now is you're going to find some very large hail. And again, just to show you where this hail is, this is your hail core right there, like a kidney bean. The blacker the hail, the bigger the hail size. And again, could be over an inch in diameter here as you look just to the east now of Abingdon, pretty much right up the Interstate 81 corridor there as well. And if you're living in Abingdon and Damascus, I'm going to show you where this storm's going just so you can see how it's been making its way towards the south. Let me put this in a 30-minute loop here so you see how these storms are pushing towards the south-southeast. And again, there's still that inflow notch just south of Abingdon, which again could be producing a tornado. It's not definite. We don't have any confirmation of that. We have some video here from a viewer. Where's this coming from? Viewer submitted video. We're going to show you here as well. And then right over the Tri-Cities, I do want to point out that tornado warning still going on. I mean, look at that right there. Where's that from? That's incredible. All right, Churchill. And again, that's that tornado cell that we were looking at. And you know what? Because the house is there, I can't really tell if that's reaching the ground, but that's a pretty good, decent wall cloud trying to come down out of that cell, which usually is indicative that we might have some rotation with that. Now, I'm going to look at the screen real quick because it's hard to see if we have actually rotation there, but it does appear that may be, in fact, a possibility of a tornado trying to form there. And again, that was in Churchill not too long ago. So we thank the viewer for that. I don't know who sent that radar, the picture in. But again, let me straighten this map back up here because I just want to show you that's the same cell. We're still looking at that tornado warned storm here, still coming in from the west-northwest. So I'm going to stop this. I want to analyze these radars one more time for you because, again, boy, if you are in the Tri-City area, and I'm trying to get some cities on here, Gray especially, Spurgeon, you're seeing the heavy amounts of rain, and look at all the purple. We are seeing the purple. That's where the hail is coming down. So you may see some pretty good hail here, also coming down towards Boones Creek. So watch out for that cell. You've got more hail and a very large batch of very heavy hail here, the black near Conklin Town, and that is black showing up where you may be getting hail up to the size of golf balls. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe quarter to golf ball size hail with that. So we got to keep a watchful eye. If you get hail, let me tell you what you need to do is take a piece of hail, lay it on your palm, lay it next to a coin or something so we can get a good idea how big that hail is. And again, this is a tornado warning still in effect for areas of Carter County, Hawkins County, I'm sorry, Sullivan County, Washington, and Greene counties until 4:45. The current time is only 4:27. So this storm going to produce a lot of lightning, vivid cloud to ground lightning, that possibility of a tornado here as well. Then we're looking at the other storm, which is tornado warned as well, coming out of Abingdon and towards Damascus. A lot of hail with those. I'm just expanding out to see what else we've got on. We've got a whole nother line of thunderstorms coming down from the west and the northwest. So just a heads up on that. Now, Abingdon, here's a report here. We're just getting in. Apparently a train spotter reporting a funnel cloud there just near a mile east-southeast of Abingdon. And that's what I'm talking about, folks. When you see these radars and we get that curvature in the radar right here, I'm trying to center this up and I want to show you this. This is most likely got this inflow notch in right there. So east-southeast, that's most likely where that tornado is, or the funnel cloud at least. And then look at all this hail. Again, you're looking at Washington County. County, just outside of Abingdon. A possibility of a tornado there in association with that cell. And let me get this off, and I want to just show you the reflectivity on this our radar, because again, right there, we've got a couplet where you may actually see this funnel cloud just southeast of Abingdon. And again, this is moving towards the southeast as well. So a possibility of a funnel cloud there as we look at Washington County in Virginia, just south of the Abingdon area. And go back to the radar again, you can see what we're looking at here. Not so much north of Abingdon now. We're seeing this couplet in the Abingdon area right down here towards Damascus. So you got to watch out for that. And when we see lightning sometimes ramping up very quickly, like you're seeing there just south and east of Abingdon, that's a good indication that we may see not only hail, but some damaging wind potential and a possibility of that tornado here. We got a live camera here. I know Olivia's trying to talk to me. Is that Abingdon there? The exit? All right. So you're looking at the tornado warned storm, the one that could be producing a tornado, looks like it has now maybe passed just south of Interstate 81. So that, again, producing a lot of hail. We've got a lot of lightning with that. And I want to show you this before we go back to the other radar and back and forth. I know we've got two. There is still some circulation there that we're looking at. Green going towards the radar, red going away. And I've got the radar here. So this is what you're looking at right there. If you see a possibility of a funnel cloud or a tornado, that's most likely where it's going to be. I'm trying to zoom in so you can see some of the roads here again. Where that green and red couplet are, you can definitely see that near Ashley's, Greenfield, Mock Hill, Neff, and Bethel. You got to be on guard. Take shelter, folks. I can't tell you enough. The winds start picking up. Get inside. Get in your lowest level of the house, away from windows, away from doors, preferably a bathroom or a closet, interior of your house, or in the basement. Again, that's one cell we're looking at, which again may actually be producing a tornado. We've had that report of a tornado, at least a funnel cloud, not reaching the ground southeast of Abingdon. And again, just to point this out, this is most likely where that's still occurring between Abingdon and Damascus. This is why the tornado warning is still in effect, that tornado warning for Washington County and Johnson County until 5 o'clock. I know I've got a lot of stuff on this radar, but I just want to give you a heads up. If you are in that area, take shelter immediately because there is a possibility of a tornado there. We're looking down here over parts of Sullivan County as well as Washington County. I'm getting my radar straightened back up here again. We do have some pockets where you may see some circulation here. Again, not out of the question to see this. You're seeing lightning ramping up there north of Interstate 81, especially just outside north of Fall Branch, Conklin Town. I wouldn't be surprised to see, if you look at the sky, you may see a little bit of rotation there. Not saying there's a tornado, but you may see some of that rotating as well. And then down here to the south, I want to show you the velocity levels because, you know, a lot of people are going home, and if they're out and about, here's what you're looking at. I can't reiterate this enough. Look at this bright red banding. In that zone where the tornado warning is, I want to show you what we're looking at here in terms of the wind speed. And again, look at that, 40, maybe 50, 60 mile an hour winds, not out of the question. That's coming right down Interstate 26 on the left-hand side. So from Gray to Johnson City, if you're driving to Johnson City, most of the worst of the wind is going to be on your right-hand side here, just north of Jonesboro. So if you're in that region, these storms mean business. You're going to find a potential of not only damaging thunderstorm winds, but along with that, we've got the possibility here of tornadoes. Now, I just want to pan out 1 second, still watching this line here up to our north, because this line right here that I'm trying to draw for you, this line here is also going to be dropping towards the south right in through here. So that's dropping southward. These two tornado warned storms here and here are also dropping to the south and the southeast. And just want to show you 30-minute coverage. You can see how everything is drifting off to the south-southeast. Conditions are very favorable. As I mentioned right at the top of our newscast, that we could in fact see tornadoes. That's why these warnings are out now, because yes, look at this, the concern here. Look how much lightning is coming in association with these. And again, you've got quite a bit of hail coming out of this. I'm going to go ahead and stop this because we've got the hail core. And again, here's my concern. Another one of these little notches right through here. If you're living in that region, I'm going to zoom in on this. I'm trying to do the radar talk at the same time, but I'm going to give you an idea where this is. Again, Dykes Mill, if you're in that region right there, I'm looking to see if we have any tornado warnings here. And again, This is just a possibility, maybe 3/4 inch diameter hail for some as this is coming on down. But look at that. There's an inflow notch right here where, again, we're getting this little couplet right there. May actually be something to bear watching. Here's another one back towards Bowles Gap we're looking at here. Not a tornado warn, but that's definitely another storm that we have to watch for as well. All these storms quickly making their way down across our region. So we've got the one storm now, tornado warning again, still in effect until Hawkins County, in effect to that, Greene County, parts of Washington County, and a small part of Sullivan County, really from Kingsport towards the west. That's where that tornado warning storm is. And then we've got the other tornado warning now for Washington County and Virginia that's extending into Johnson County. That is in effect until 5 o'clock as these storms will continue to migrate quickly off towards the south and the southeast. So just a heads up for you. I don't know if we've got a new video in it, but again, if you got hail in these storms, take a picture of it, lay a coin next to it. It gives us a good representation of how big some of that is. I just want to point this out because as we're looking at this radar, let me just show you how much rain is falling. A lot of rain here. Look at this, just outside of Gate City into areas just outside of Kingsport. I'm going to highlight this. We're already getting rainfall rates in excess, I've got to pull these down, about 3/4 to an inch of rain in a 1 hour period of time. So they're definitely putting some heavy rainfall down. There's 3 hour period, and you can pick out many areas well over an inch of rain here with some of these cells that are continuing to make their way towards the south and the southeast. Our motto here, if you're tired of seeing television, we have to stay on the air for tornado warnings, and we've got 2 of those right now across our region. One encompassing areas right near Kingsport down, possibly coming into Johnson City, the other from Abingdon to Mountain City. So both of these mean business, and we're going to zoom back in here because I'm trying to give you an idea where these are. They're going to continue the tornado warning here for Johnson, Sullivan, and Washington County and Virginia, as we are seeing a possibility of maybe 1 1/4 inch diameter hail with those cells. And again, that's this particular cell here. That is still in effect until 5 o'clock. Washington County, also into Johnson County. If you're in Johnson County, you may not see it yet, but that thunderstorm complex is pushing your way. And just to give an idea, this is 30 minutes, so you can see from Abingdon now right into parts of Johnson County. This is going to mean business, going to have hail with it, and some possibilities for very strong winds. I just want to show you the wind velocity here. And again, my concern here, as I stop this again, even though we still have that tornado warning, this is what we would call broad rotation here. You're seeing the rotation right there, just north of Damascus in Virginia, and that is where we could see a little bit of spin up there if you're in that area. So heads up for you again, not a huge amount of wind here, very, very broad circulation, but that's something we're watching. And then definitely down through here, watching quite a bit of wind energy with this particular cell as it's moving along and coming close to Interstate 81. You've got this little broad area of circulation right in through here again, coming down out of Hawkins County into parts of Washington County. So I'm going to give you an idea where some of the roads are in here so you can get an idea here. Let me straighten this map up. Just northwest of Fall Branch, there's a possibility you may see some winds here in association with that. I don't see a huge tight couplet in here as of yet, but that again is where we may see some circulation if you're looking in that general direction again. That just outside of Fall Branch. And here we've got some other winds coming down the Interstate 26 corridor. Let me change back over because I want to show you the velocity here. And as you're looking at this velocity, I can't reiterate this enough. Some of that bright red banding, this is not that high up. You're at about 2,000 feet here. 2,000 to 3,000 feet. And again, some of the winds here, let me put this back into a wind mode, are up maybe upward to 40 to 50 mile per hour. So you see that if you're in Johnson City, the west side of Johnson City now. Concern here as I'm watching this radar, you still got a little bit of what I would call some broad rotation in through here. And again, not a huge amount, but something that bears watching along the Interstate 26 corridor. Do we have a camera from North Johnson City? We're going to take some cameras just to show you some of the activity you're seeing there. And you see the lowering of the sky here. You may see like a shelf cloud coming over parts of the region as well. That's that cloud that looks like a shelf coming across the horizon. And again, this is what we're looking at here, coming right down into parts of Johnson City. We've got the rain in Johnson City, but the worst of the weather is still off to the northwest. That's got to drop towards the south and the southeast. Still some interesting clouds in association with the radar as well. So again, let me show you, we're watching just not a huge amount of couplet here, but we still have these tornado warnings still going on for areas of Hawkins County, Sullivan County, into parts of Washington and Greene County here. Greene County back through here. So you got that one warning. We're also watching the other warning here. In effect, tornado warning again, and this includes Washington County in Virginia and Johnson County until 5 o'clock. I just want to reiterate the fact that some of these are going to definitely produce some very heavy rainfall. And again, tornado warning for 4:45 for Washington County, Sullivan County, and Greene County, and then Washington County, Virginia, and Johnson County, Tennessee until 5 o'clock. Now, let me point these other storms out because we're still looking at these two. They're moving pretty quickly. I'm going to show you a 30-minute lapse on these. They're moving towards the southeast. What I don't have turned on this particular image, I'm going to turn it on real quick. I don't have the warnings for severe thunderstorms. So let's see how many of these are being warned on here as well. And most of this activity, if I go back to my severe thunderstorm, well, yeah, most of this is just tornadic, and that's really confined to East Tennessee. So we've got both the warnings on, and I'm trying to see if those are still on here as I'm looking at this map here for parts of Washington County. I'm trying to see if they have let that go or not, guys. But we're watching this very carefully as we are still watching these showers and thunderstorms. I'm going to toss it to Ansley and Terry here in a second because we've got a lot of weather still going on. Let me, 1 second, guys. Let me just double check and see if you got another camera we could take over Johnson City real quick. I just want to see if I've got these warnings still turned on here, guys. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you got the severe thunder. All right, there are all your warnings here. All right, that's what I was double checking on. So we've still had the warnings. Tornado warnings are still up, and that's what we're. All right, we have an airport camera here. We're going to try and show you too. Tri-Cities Airport. You can see that we are still watching quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity across the region. That's Interstate 81 there. And again, just to show you where this storm is, back to our radar. I'm going to show you this real quick because I'm going to put this in the stop mode. I'm trying to do a couple things at once. I want to put this in the stop mode, and I want to draw. This is the interstate right here that I'm going to draw for you, 2 seconds, so you can see where this storm is. Here's your interstate right there. So most of the thunderstorm activity has pushed south of Interstate 81. That's why when we start looking at cameras, we got to start looking at Johnson City surrounding areas because we had that potential here for some of the stronger thunderstorms right over the Tri-City area itself. All right. So, guys, until I know we've got tornado warnings and we stay on the air for these, you guys, I'm going to toss to you for a second, and then we're going to come back to radar. Let's get the viewers again with Ansley and Terry where to send the photos to and what you need to do. If you're in the areas though, where the tornado warnings are, get to a close shelter. You want to be in a closet, hallway, bathroom, or in a basement, away from windows, away from doors. We're going to toss it to you real quick and give us the info where they can send that.
Yeah, you can send those. Scan that QR code right there if you're in your home, www.jhl.wjhl.com/report-it-it/.
Yes, as soon as you send those photos into us, of course, do that from a safe location. But we want to show you some photos from our cameras now. That is a view of downtown Johnson City. As you can tell, a rainy and hazy view there. Not too clear of a view because of that throughout downtown. However, you can see we are now moving on to another traffic camera there. This one looks like I-81 there. And as you can tell, rain still coming down, a little bit of standing water on the roadway there. This is mile marker 53. Folks moving along there, a little bit of a different scene than what we saw a few minutes ago from a camera that was either this one or one that was near to that one earlier as well.
Yeah, and if you have a friend, family member, or anyone that's on the roads, it's probably best to let them know to go ahead and pull over as these storms go through. You're taking a look at downtown Johnson City. The folks downstairs in our newsroom telling us that the sirens are going off across town. So if you know anyone out and about or on the roads, tell them to get inside, seek shelter. If you're in your home, as Mark said, go low-lying areas in your home. A bathtub, for example. Definitely do not want to be high up during this storm. Looking at downtown Jonesboro, rain moving in as well. And if you know anyone out and about on the roads, please tell them to get inside, get off the roads, pull over. Want everyone to remain safe during this storm.
And I want to take note of the difference in the cameras as we took them at the top of the hour at 4 o'clock and how quickly this has changed, as Mark mentioned. Over in Johnson City, it was looking, a little cloudy, not too much, but now it is completely dark on that North Johnson City camera. Rain just coming down, of course, here in Jonesboro. There's that Johnson City camera. I mean, again, this is quickly moving through the area. So if you can get inside, if you can get stopped somewhere, you need to go inside and shelter in place as soon as you can. This storm is moving through our region so quick.
Yeah, of course, want everyone to remain safe. And of course, we're going to remain wall to wall as this line of storms roll through. Looking at storms, obviously, Northeast Tennessee and up there in Abingdon as well. Going to go ahead and send things over to Chief Meteorologist Mark Reynolds for another look at our weather forecast.
All right, so here's another concern, guys. That line that I was showing you northwest was already producing another tornado warning back towards Harlan, Kentucky. So we're not done yet. The atmosphere very conducive for damaging thunderstorm winds along with tornado activity. Here are some of the towns. I know I've got a cursor on there, but you can see some of the towns. Piney Flats about 4:45. Just minutes from now, you're seeing a pretty good downpour coming your way. Let me just bring you up to date. We've got a tornado warning storm here for the Abingdon area, Washington County, also into Johnson County. Both of these counties, Johnson and Washington, under a tornado warning. A lot of hail with that. I cannot reiterate that enough. These storms are moving towards the southeast. You can see some of the towns in that from Tuckersville to Nella, also Conarock and Green Cove there. And we've got another batch of cities here for you as well. Taylors Valley, Green Cove in there too. So that tornado warning till 5 o'clock. We've got another tornado warning here, Sullivan County, down into Greene and Washington County. This coming right into Johnson City. That tornado warning. I do not see a well-defined couplet, but you are seeing a possibility of hail with this. And again, here is your hail core right there. Another hail core just north of town, but this one right here, the worst of the hail, probably a little bit bigger as you look towards the west and northwest of Johnson City. Now, I want to also point out with that line of storms, a new tornado warning here. This, if it holds together, going to come on down towards areas of southwest Virginia. I'm going to change my radar real quick and show you reflectivity here with that, because as we look at this, this is a radar indicated tornado threat, a tornado warning here. And that again, areas of eastern Kentucky. We're watching this because in this area here again, just north and northwest of Jonesville and Pennington Gap, this is going to make its way towards the south as well. So if there's a tornado, most likely in that region, I want to give you an idea of the reflectivity, because look at the intense storms. These are going to mean business as well. A lot of vivid cloud to ground lightning. You're going to find some very heavy rainfall and a possibility for damaging thunderstorm winds. So on the entire map now, we've got 3 tornado warnings. One for the Harlan area. You're seeing that until 5:15, and that in effect there. We've got the tornado warnings right into the immediate Tri-City area, especially now into parts of Washington County, back into Greene County and Hawkins County and Sullivan County. And I do want to point out this storm has not really moved into Johnson City yet. So if you're seeing the rain now, if we have a Johnson City camera, one of the closer ones, you can see that. We'll show you the radars and cameras, because as we look at that, I'm just giving an idea who's in the path of this. You can see some of the towns here just over parts of Johnson City, Avondale, Forest, about 4:49. So the worst of the weather is still off to your north and west. Give you another idea of where some of the towns are. You can see this here. This is more back towards Double Springs. It's moving towards the southeast. By the way, both of these storms that we're looking at, the one from Abingdon to Tri-Cities, they're all moving at about southeast at 35 miles per hour. So I can't stress the fact you're not only going to find damaging wind threat, that'd be winds in excess of 50 miles an hour, also hail 1 inch in diameter or larger, and the flood threat is there because of the heavy amounts of rain with these, as we continue to watch both storms now making their way across the region. All right, let me see something, and I'm just looking here to Ainsley and Terry. We're going to toss it back to you. I'm just reporting here 1¼ inch hail. I'm looking to see where that is as you're looking at the radar. Give me 2 seconds here, and that's okay. That's North Carolina, but nonetheless, that tornado warning is still in effect, guys. I'm going to toss it to you real quick.
And I believe we have a piece of video of the sirens going off here in downtown Johnson City, I believe near ETSU's campus. Let's go ahead and play some of that.
Again, that is video of a siren going off in Johnson City, that is near ETSU's campus. Again, sirens going off there in the downtown area of Johnson City. If you've been sticking with us, you know that we are in severe weather coverage right now. We have been continuing to follow tornado warnings in effect all throughout the Tri-Cities. There's a look at downtown Johnson City right now. As you can tell, rain coming down there as it continues to move throughout the region?
If I can, I want to show you the radar, and then I want to go back to the camera there from Bays Mountain. You see this couplet right here? This is concerning to me. This right here is Interstate 81. Here's 26. This is an interesting feature. Could be a couplet trying to form. Go back to the Bays Mountain camera and look on the far right side of your screen. Do you see the low clouds coming down there? That's a bit concerning there if we're in the right position there, as we may actually be watching something trying to develop here. It's still a bit broad rotation, but nonetheless, keep it on that camera here. Let me just query this while I'm looking at the imagery here, because again, I've just got to check the wind speeds on here. Nonetheless, it does show a pretty good possibility. Yeah, this is concerning to me. If you're living in this area right here, all right, take a look at the radar. Keep that camera in a minute, but look at this radar right here. This is just south of Interstate 81. This could be a possible tornado forming in that region. So I want you to keep a heads up here, because this is over. Now they're going to cancel. Let me see what they're doing here. I'm trying to see that. I'm not going to worry about that right at the moment. I want to show you, this is where we have the inflow notch. Once again, we talk about that, where your winds are coming up and around this center of circulation right in through here. And I just want to point this out, because if we look at that and then go back and look at the possibility of velocity, we've got some kind of couplet right there, and we've got some shear going on here as well. So I just want to give you a heads up. If you're in this area, I don't want to take ETSU, I want to take a Bays Mountain camera. If you're in this area, let me point out, because look at the wind speeds here. 50 mile an hour now. This is rotation. When you combine that, could be a rotation of 70, 75 mile an hour winds. All right, so you got to get in your safe shelter, and you're probably saying to yourself, where are you at? I want to zoom in close. Here are some of the roads. You see Mitchell Springs, Keebler Crossroads. All right, that is just outside of that region. This is the area I'm most concerned about. If you're living in Mitchell Springs, Hartmantown, Oak Hill area, and you're seeing rotation, you got to get to a safe shelter, safe place immediately. Let's take that camera up full so I can take a look at that, because it looks like some of the clouds are, if you can, the Bays Mountain camera. Yeah, you see that whole cloud deck coming down to the ground. If that's in the right direction, I don't know if Chris can hear me downstairs, but you got to shoot just a little bit towards the, you may want to move that. Let's try and shoot down, I think that's to the southwest. That's what I'm looking at here, guys, and my concern is, I'm looking at the video here, I can see a possibility, yeah, it may be coming down to the ground, so I can't stress this enough. We got some very high winds possible in that storm. You got the rotation here, and just to give an example, I've widened this out. You can see where this broad circulation is. Keep that up there. We'll show you the radar, because it is just northwest of Jonesboro, and they're looking here as you're keeping an eye on this. I just want to point this out. They're canceling Sullivan County, going to continue it for Washington and Johnson County in Virginia. That's the other cell we're looking at here. But this is the one I'm concerned about. Now, let me look at this. Just popped up here as well, and pretty good hail with that as well. This storm, just to give you an idea what the radar looks like, there's the circulation. We're still seeing a little inflow notch where we might, in fact, be seeing some circulation. So if you're in that area, we've got the couplet on here. I want to take these off just to give an idea where this is that we're looking at right in through here. Just northwest of Jonesboro, just to the west of the gray area. And let me put the radar back on. I'm going to zoom in so you can get your ideas of where you're at. I know a lot of people want to see the roads on here. We've got that here. So you see Ducktown, Cabtown, right over the Oak Hill, Hartmantown area. If you've got shelter, you need to take it immediately. Not saying that this is a confirmed tornado, but there is some rotation with that as well that we're looking at. I would not rule that out, that you may be seeing some of the clouds kind of rotating. If you go back to the camera, we can take a look at that again from Bays Mountain vantage point. And again, all right, do we have North Johnson City at all? Oh, they're both out. Our cameras are out now. All right, so sorry about that, guys. But nonetheless, we're looking at that possibility of some rotation here in association with that. We'll take ETSU here, and as you're looking at that, I'm just trying to get my radar reset here. And again, there's broad rotation there. Not saying that's a tornado, just may see some rotation and some wind threat here as you're looking at the radar just over the I-81 corridor coming down into areas just outside of Fall Branch, north of Jonesboro here, Hartmantown, pretty much in the center of that, Glendale as well, Keebler Crossroads. If you're in that region, you're picking up some winds, let us us know if you see any of the damage at all. We'd love to hear about that too, especially trees and power lines. So back to our rotation here. And again, this has really changed a bit. This is more broad circulation, but just to give an example of some of the winds we look at when we look at tornado activity, that's 40, and you're probably looking at 68-mile-per-hour winds. So there's still some circulation there. It's just not a tight couplet where you would actually see a tornado, but I would not be surprised. Something could spin up there very, very quickly. Just to give you a heads up on that. And again, you see these cells are all pushing towards the south and the southeast. So we've got Jonesboro here as well. I want to quickly take you back up here into Lee County as well and into Johnson County. I'm going to change the radar. There's a look at Jonesboro. You see the rain coming down here. Take you back to Damascus and Mountain City. This tornado warning is still in effect until 5 o'clock. Just a few more minutes left. And again, you're seeing some hail with that. I want to show you the reflectivities here. Not seeing much in terms of what would create rotation there. So they're going to keep that. They let the parts of Virginia go, but we still have a little tornado warning for Damascus down into Mountain City until 5 o'clock this evening. So it looks like, guys, they may have let this other tornado warning go for East Tennessee, but keep in mind, we had that broad circulation. I still wouldn't worry. I worry a little bit about something popping up in this vicinity north of Jonesboro. There's no tornado warning now, and we still have the tornado warning here back into Harlan County in Kentucky. So this cell here in the Johnson County, don't see a whole lot of worry with that right now. That's still going to produce some hail. I do not see what we typically say as rotation. It's more heavy rain threat now. You can find some gusty winds and some hail with that as well. So we'll let the anchors take over now. We're watching these carefully, guys. If you've got severe weather in your area, the winds pick up, take shelter immediately inside basement, hallway, closet, or the interior part of your house or in a basement. We'll toss it back to you guys.
All right, Mark, thank you. And again, if you have any photos or videos that you can safely take and send in to us, that link is right there on your screen. You can scan that QR code, wjhl.com/report-it. We'll be right back.